I traded in my M4 iPad Pro for an even better M4 iPad Pro. Hey everyone, it's Tech Dad here, and if you've seen my channel and content before, you know that I use my iPad Pro for everything that I do. It is my only computer. I use it for all my jobs, side gigs, and hobbies. That includes a project management job during the day, teaching at night, high-end gaming, and of course, content creation for YouTube. And I love everything about my iPad Pro. It's been a phenomenal experience. I haven't owned a computer for almost a year. I do everything on this device. But my only regret that I had with my iPad Pro is that I went cheap on it. So I got the base model when the M4 iPad launched back in May of 2024. So I just had the lower quality computer guts in the iPad. And for as much professional work as I do in my iPad, I just needed better hardware. I needed more RAM for editing my videos. I need way more storage for storing all those videos and video projects. It also wouldn't hurt to have the more powerful M4 chip that you get with this guy. So not all M4 chips are created equal, mind you. And the big upgrade that I wanted to try was the nano-texture glass. So this is supposed to give a completely different feel on the iPad Pro. Supposed to make it feel a little more like paper, and as much writing as I do for my teaching, I really wanted to try that out. I also record this iPad screen a lot with a camera, and so the nano-texture is supposed to reduce glare and reflection. And that's a pretty big deal when you're creating content on the iPad Pro. So in this video, I want to unbox this new iPad. I want to give a quick review on the nano-texture glass option, see what that looks like, and I just want to talk a little bit more about the powerful guts inside these higher grade iPad Pros. All right, let's get into it. All right, so let's get this thing unboxed. So I got the 1 terabyte version of this iPad, and that higher storage option gives you the higher end hardware inside this device. All right, my favorite part. And I went with the space black this time, so that's pretty sharp looking. There's the nano-texture glass, and I am really surprised at how little reflection there really is. There's a camera directly above this, and it doesn't seem to be catching in the glass. Okay. See what else is in the box. Of course, you get the paperwork. You have a black USB-C cable. Okay, so I'm going to get this thing set up, so give me just a few minutes and then we'll talk about it. Okay, well, I've got it all unboxed and set up here. It's still loading a few apps, but man, I've had a chance to play around with this thing and it is awesome. The nano-texture glass is insane. And so I want to just start by talking about that. So I've tested it a little bit with its reflection and I put it in front of the camera, turned it on and off, and man, there is just none. It looks great. And this is so important when you're filming a screen. This iPad screen is so filmable. It is awesome. And I did a little comparison. So obviously I don't have my old iPad Pro. I traded that in. I got $710 for that old iPad Pro, by the way. So not a bad deal. But I compared the reflectivity to this M3 iPad Air, which I know doesn't have the OLED screen, but it does have an anti-reflective coating. And so it should do a decent job. Well, look at the difference. You can see everything in that M3 iPad Air screen, especially when it's turned off. You see my phone camera, you see me, everything. But when you take a look at this nano-texture glass iPad, nothing is reflected. It's all gone. There is no reflection at all. I love that. So if you're not filming your iPad screen, I know not everyone does that. The nano-texture glass is great for being outside or being in difficult lighting conditions. So if you've got a lot of light around you, this nano-texture glass is going to get rid of that light and that reflection and let you see your iPad very clearly, even if you're out in the sunlight. Now, something else I want to talk about the nano-texture glass is that the feeling of the screen is different. It actually has like a matte finish instead of a glossy finish like regular glass. Now, that comes down to a preference thing if you like that or not, but I really love it because it makes it have more of a paper matte-like finish. And so when I'm writing on this, it actually feels like I'm writing more on paper and less on glass, and that's a very natural feel that a lot of people really want. It even feels good when my hand is gliding across the iPad as I write. It just feels good to have something that feels like paper. It gives the pencil a little bit more grip as well. It's not so slippery and sliding around on you when you're writing. And the screen, in my opinion, doesn't look any different. It's still that brilliant OLED display. It still has the 120 hertz refresh rate. It's still just as gorgeous. Now, the nano-texture feature does cost $100 for that upgrade. But in my opinion, if you're going for a pro level iPad Pro, Pro. It is totally worth it, especially if you're working in high lighting conditions or difficult lighting conditions, or if you're writing on your iPad a lot and you want that paper-like feel. It's great. Okay, now some of the other reasons why I bought this iPad Pro is because I wanted the upgraded hardware inside of it. And so in my 256 gigabyte model, I had an M4 chip that has 9-core CPU and 3 performance cores, 6 efficiency cores, and a 10-core GPU. But if you look, the 1 terabyte model has a 10-core CPU with 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores. So you get a little bit of a bump in your M4 chip. Something that's even more important to me though is that you get the 16 gigabytes of RAM with this 1 terabyte option, which is really going to help with video editing. I notice when I start to put a lot of 4K video into one project, it can really bog the iPad down. So I'm hoping that 16 gigs of RAM really bumps up my efficiency. Now, of course, the most obvious upgrade is the 1 terabyte of storage. So I kept constantly running out of storage on 256 gigs because I'm making a lot of video projects. So this 1 terabyte of storage is going to be well worth it just for that feature. So I'm going to keep playing around with this iPad with this new nano-texture glass. I can't wait to do some video editing on it. I think it's going to be really fun, and just my general work will be great on it. I still got the smart keyboard for it, so I'm going to attach that and get to work later today. Let me know if you have more questions about this nano-texture glass or why I upgraded. I'm excited to take a look at the comments. That's all I got for you. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.